With so many choices, how do you pick the right dog food? Well, you want real meat to be the first ingredient. And you probably don't want things like chicken byproduct meal or whole grain corn. That makes the choice pretty easy. Blue Buffalo. Pick up Blue wherever you buy pet food.
Feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't at its best. Metamucil gummies make it easy to get the fiber you need, promoting your digestive health for a better you. Metamucil gummies, the easy way to get your daily fiber.
Tomorrow on ET, Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos.
We are spilling the ET.
What you never knew about the husband and wife daytime duo.
Tell me now here on ET.
Be sure to check that one out. Now, we've got one more thing to show you before we say goodnight.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
You are the one.
This is why.
Exactly.
We call them in the South hoot nannies. We're going to have one big hoot nanny.
I like that.
Congrats to Kristen Chenoweth and musician Josh Bryant, who said I do in Dallas over the weekend. Joey King also tied the knot with director Stephen Pyatt.
Happening now.
The mayor chiming in after a string of shootings involving police officers leaves many questioning the bond process. Up next, what he says could be the answer.
The stage has been set and the historic trial of Attorney General Ken Paxton has begun. This impeachment trial, months in the making, will take you inside the Texas Capitol coming up.
And I'm looking ahead to a little shift in our weather pattern that brings some hope for rain. I'll be back to talk about it in just a bit. The News at 5 starts right now.
First at 5, we have breaking news on the south side of San Antonio, where there has been yet another shooting involving a police officer. Police have blocked off an intersection of Iroquois and Ute Streets in what it looks like another case where an officer was shot. A few details are coming in right now, and Daniela Ibarra is gathering the story now. She's live at the scene. Daniela.
Yeah, Ursula, we are waiting to hear from San Antonio Police Chief William McManus. Now, we were actually asked to move back about a 5-minute walk from where everything's happening. So we are just off the where the police are taped off right now. But right now I want to show you what everything looks like from the sky. That way you can see the magnitude of the police presence here. Like I said, we're waiting for Chief McManus. We don't have many details yet, but we do know from San Antonio Police that it is an officer-involved shooting. We're not sure how the officer was involved, if he was shot or if he was the one firing shots. But of course, we will confirm that once Chief McManus gets here. But for now, we're live on the southwest side. Daniela Ibarra, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Daniela. We're going to check in with you again as soon as we get more details. But today's shooting comes literally on the heels of a series of 4 others, all of them involving San Antonio police. And it has caused a back and forth argument between the city's district attorney and SAPD's chief of police. Each of these cases and each of these staff members accusing the others of not doing enough to get violent criminals off the streets. Jonathan Cotto with how the man in the middle, the mayor, thinks this could be resolved at the state level.
We have to make sure that we're doing everything possible as a community to keep violent offenders off the streets.
Mayor Rod Nirenberg responding to the latest shooting involving San Antonio police officers. On Monday, police say during a pursuit of a man wanted for several robberies, the 27-year-old man may have opened fire at police, prompting officers to fire back and kill him.
We're going to ensure that the police department in our community is fully resourced and is able to do their jobs.
The mayor's comments come on the heels of a back and forth between the San Antonio police chief and the Bexar County's district attorney's office after multiple officers were shot in 1 week while trying to arrest suspects. Some of those suspects had their cases dismissed. Last week, the DA's office said they are seeing more cases where SAPD is making arrests to where they may have probable cause, but not beyond reasonable doubt.
We're limited to what we get from law enforcement. Sometimes we get very good cases and sometimes we don't. So you can't just look at a dismissal and say this was a bad decision on the part of the DA. We may not have had what we needed.
Henriksen says a judge under the law must set a bond. Nirenberg is hoping now those bonds are determined and can be resolved at the state level.
Well, obviously, the issues related to the bond process have been long in dispute at the state legislature and here at the local level, and those issues continue to brew and create challenges.
Jonathan Cotto, KSAT 12 News.
Now, San Antonio Police Chief William McManus has said repeatedly over the last week that he knows the kinds of cases his department is giving to the DA's office. And on Friday, SAPD told us that it was only after 3 officers were shot by a suspect that the DA's office actually reached out requesting more information on that case. And at this minute, we are waiting to hear from Chief McManus on the latest case.
Everything she just said there was false. Therefore, Attorney General Ken Paxton pleads not guilty.
Attorney General Ken Paxton's historic impeachment trial now underway. This after losing a vote for the charges against him to be dismissed. In court today, Paxton denied he used his office to punish his enemies and enrich himself in the process. Eric Hernandez in Texas State Senate chambers as 31 lawmakers serve as the jury of his peers.
The motion is denied.
Texas senators this morning overwhelmingly voting against the dismissal of any of the articles of impeachment that Attorney General Ken Paxton is facing. More than a dozen motions were filed this morning and all were denied. The Texas House in May voted to have Paxton impeached after 20 articles of misconduct were brought against him. With Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick presiding, opening statements began after lunch.
Mr. Paxton has been entrusted with great power. Unfortunately, rather than rise to the occasion, he has revealed his true character. And as the overwhelming evidence will show, he is not fit to be the Attorney General for the state of Texas.
House Manager Republican Representative Andrew Murr delivered opening remarks and highlighted what he says are shocking facts in their case.
How far would Mr. Paxton have gone in using the power of the Attorney General's office to harass and punish his and Nate Paul's perceived enemies and hurt innocent Texans?
In response, Paxton's attorney Tony Busby says all the allegations are false.
When we are done, I believe that no matter your party affiliation and no matter where you stand now, you will conclude what I have concluded, that there is nothing to this. This whole case is a whole lot of nothing.
Now, while Paxton was present this morning, he was not present this afternoon. In fact, he does not have to be present for the entire trial, and he will not have to testify. Now, coming up at 6, we'll have more on this impeachment trial, including who the first witness was to take the stand. Reporting live in Austin, Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Erica. Meantime, a man in his 40s undergoing surgery today after being brutally attacked by a neighbor's 2 pit bulls. This happening on the city's northeast side today. San Antonio Police and Animal Care Services called to this home in Heidelberg Street near Randolph Boulevard. The victim's roommate telling KSAT 12 that his friend was just sitting in his yard like he would on any other day when his neighbor's 2 dogs were let out. That roommate says that all of a sudden they crawled under a fence and attacked.
I was inside. I just woke up, making my coffee. I didn't hear a thing out here. I walked outside. Good thing I did. It's the worst injuries I've seen ever to a human body.
Sutton telling KSAT that he came out with his gun, called for help, and then held the 2 dogs at bay while EMS medics pulled his friend from the yard. SAPD tells us the victim's injuries to his arms and torso are serious. Those dogs are currently on a 10-day quarantine at Animal Care Services to determine whether they are dangerous, and criminal charges could be filed. A crash at an apartment complex in the medical center area leading police to a man inside a car who had a gunshot to his head. It happened around 3:30 this morning in the 4000 block of Horizon Hill Boulevard. Neighbors reportedly heard gunshots and the crash. They called 911. San Antonio police say that in addition to finding the victim there, they found multiple shell casings in 3 different places, which may mean the gunman was moving as they were shooting. Police say the victim is in critical condition. So far, though, no arrests have been made. Happening today, if you drive on Broadway, be aware even more construction is forcing 2 sections of this road to be closed from now until the end of the year. The closure is affecting Broadway from 4th Street to McCullough Avenue and 6th Street to Brooklyn. Now keep in mind, people will still have access to businesses along and near Broadway. Pedestrians also still have access to existing sidewalks on both sides of the street. The closures, though, part of the next phase of the 2017 Lower Broadway Bond Project. Also happening today, city staffers. They're hosting another public town hall session on the proposed 2024 city budget. This meeting is this evening. It is at 6:30 at the Copernicus Community Center. San Antonians have the opportunity to see how officials propose to use a $3.7 billion budget. Questions and comments are going to be accepted. Another public hearing is scheduled for Thursday morning at 9 in council chambers. A final vote on the 2024 budget scheduled for next week on September 14th. As for the county, commissioners are going to be holding their next budget workshop meeting tomorrow. Texas A&M San Antonio unveiling a new program. It will give even more students more access to a college degree. Today, the president of the university announcing the Jaguar Promise program. It goes further than previous plans that cover tuition for high school seniors who graduate in the top 10% of their class. The Jaguar Promise is open to the top 10% of students, graduates of the early college high school, students with at least 30 credit hours, and transfer students from junior colleges in Texas. Those students may earn an associate degree or have 60 credit hours. Their family has to have an income of $70,000 or less. However, Texas A&M San Antonio is offering incoming students even more.
Their tuition will be covered and their fees will be covered. And we will give a book stipend of $300 every semester to the students. So it's not just the tuition, but it's about having the resources that you need. So that's what this program will include.
The Jaguar Promise goes into effect for students entering Texas A&M San Antonio in the fall of 2024. If you'd like to find out some more information on this new program, you can check it out at tamsa.edu/Jaguar/Promise. Going to take a live look outside with TransGuide cameras. And yes, this is live. This is rush hour in San Antonio. We're kind of taking a number of different views of the city, none of them showing any backups at all.
A lot of sunshine and hot temperatures to go around. 103. The high temperature today officially in San Antonio, measured at the airport. Now, the record for the day, 111, and that's significant because that is the hottest air temperature ever recorded in San Antonio. That was on this day back in the year 2000. We had a west wind, very dry air, and that allowed the temperature to spike in the afternoon. Today, our 69th 100-degree day, so that's 10 more than the second place position of 2009, which we surpassed earlier this summer. Del Rio 102, Leon Springs 100, 105 in Floresville, Mico 102, and right now near Lavernia and Seguin 103 degrees. As we go through the evening, a bit breezy, southeasterly wind picking up to 15 to 25, and that's going to increase the humidity. Also, it takes humidity to make rain. We do have rain chances back in the forecast. We're going to talk about that shift in our pattern in just a bit.
Thank you so much, Adam, and we'll be right back.
I'm Myra Arthur with a look at what we're working on for the news at 6 o'clock today. CPS Energy raised its rates last year, and it has plans for more rate increases in the near future. How a San Antonio City Councilwoman says the city might be able to help fend those off. We'll explain her idea. Plus, have you heard of the term TikTok brain? Some doctors and educators say this is a real thing, and it's a cause for concern about kids' brain development and attention span. At 6 o'clock, what they're noticing and what parents can do about it. All that and more today on the News at 6.
Thank you, Myra. The weather may not feel it, but we are headed into fall, and that means stores are discounting summer goods and moving them out. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moore shows us the September sales for you on appliances, grills, and more.
The holiday weekend may be gone, but the Labor Day sales, they're still on. Look for Labor Day sales on large appliances like refrigerators and washing machines. And then throughout the month, you'll also see a lot of sales around seasonal items.
Consumer Reports tracks prices on its top-rated products all year. So here's what to look for this month. This LG refrigerator is $1,166 at Appliances Connection. That's more than $260 off. This bottom freezer unit is energy efficient, too. Here's another LG sale. This top loader washing machine is $798 at the Home Depot, Lowe's, and Wayfair. That's about $250 saved, and it's energy and water efficient. The dreaded ragweed season is coming. An air purifier may help. The Blue Air Blue Pure 211i Max is marked down to $280 at Best Buy. In testing, it did an excellent job removing dust and smoke. College football is back. Time to take your tailgate next level. This Weber Q is on a sizzling sale for about $273 at Amazon. And if you need a laptop for back to school, this 13-inch 2020 Apple MacBook Air is still $250 off at Amazon. You'll see the deepest discounts on tech closer to the holidays, but if you do need a new phone, Apple is expected to unveil its new iPhone next week, meaning the older models will start dropping in price. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
As we continue to wait on Chief McManus on the latest police shooting here in San Antonio, we are going to check in on weather with hopefully some good news about rain down the line.
Well, we're gaining a little bit of confidence, so it's at least a shift in our weather pattern that we foresee. We're still going to have more triple-digit days, don't get me wrong, but the pattern shift comes Sunday into Monday, and that gives us at least a glimmer of hope. And like I said before, we're gaining a little bit of confidence. Take a look at our rain and storm chances here. Starting Sunday at 20%, same with Monday, then Tuesday we bump it up a little bit to 30%. And it's still very early on, keep that in mind. And there's the potential we could be raising those chances a little bit, particularly toward Tuesday and even Wednesday of next week. So let's talk about the big picture. A little bit of action up and down the Mississippi River area there off to the northeast of us. But the big blue H, it's settling back in. The upper level high, it's going to be the primary influence of our weather over the next several days. That is until we see the pattern shift. And that shift is going to be the upper level high moving westward again over the Baja Peninsula. Now, the significance of that is it puts us in this northerly steering flow aloft, and that opens the door to disturbances coming in from even the Pacific Northwest, but also West Texas and North Texas and New Mexico. And we'll also have some instability in our atmosphere those afternoons that could then help generate some of those showers and thunderstorms. So cross your fingers, say some prayers, and hey, we may just have some action on the radar screen by this time next week and even by Sunday. 102, the current temperature. Dew point at 65. That dew point's dropping off a little bit, but it's going to spike again later on tonight with that sea breeze coming in. You'll notice the gusty winds out of the southeast around 25 miles per hour around and after sunset. You look at the readings, though. Low 100s for most of us. New Braunfels, Gonzales 104, Del Rio 103. Upper 90s in the Hill Country. Rock Springs and Kerrville both at 97. Most of Texas seeing triple digits at this hour. Lubbock 100. Dallas 103, Abilene 106. But there is some cooler air out there. It's off to the northwest and even north of us. See these green colors on the map, those contours? That indicates 60s and 70s. So Casper, Wyoming, 67, Seattle, 67, even Denver at 76, and Bismarck now at 63. So there is some cooler air that's moved into the northern tier of the country and giving some folks a bit of a break from the summer heat. 79 tomorrow morning. That's how we start the day at 7 a.m. Very sticky and humid again early in the morning. Not much of a breeze, though, at sunrise. By noon, we're sunny and 91 degrees. We'll have the low clouds for a few hours around sunrise. Then we break out into the sunshine. And by the afternoon, we make it up to 102 for the high temperature. We'll be there at 4 and 5 p.m. It may feel like it's a degree or two warmer in some places, but for the most part, this time of year when we get those lower dew points in the afternoon, the heat index isn't a huge issue. Across our area tomorrow afternoon, Canyon Lake 101, Gonzales 102, very similar in Cotulla tomorrow at 103. Lackland on the west side there, 101, along with Converse and Timberwood Park, 100 even, Stone Oak 101. So that's more of the same. But when you look at the 7-day forecast, it shows that shift in our pattern. We have the triple digits lasting through the weekend. We're talking 102 to 103. And then even Sunday, 100 degrees. However, that little shift in our pattern, assuming we get a little extra cloud cover and some of those afternoon showers, then that would put a dent in our temperatures. And believe it or not, we could actually get down below 100 degrees. That would be by Monday and especially on Tuesday. Tuesday actually holds the potential to be even cooler than what we have there. We just got to give it more time and hone in on that forecast. By the way, coming up at 6, we're going to talk more about which days this week are likely to break record highs. And we have Tropical Storm Lee in the Atlantic to talk about.
All right. Thank you, Adam. A tough weekend for some of us in college football and a tough weekend ahead for the pros.
Yes, a roller coaster of a weekend. Some very high highs, some very low lows. That's football. And Houston prepares for a very difficult week 1 matchup in Baltimore. D'Amico Ryans talks highly of the Ravens offense. Plus, the UIW Cardinals reflect on their season opening loss. What went wrong? Coming up.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
We are nearing the Houston Texans Week 1 debut, and there is plenty of preparation going into what will be a difficult matchup when the team squares off with the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens finished last NFL season with a 10-7 record, making the playoffs, but losing in the wild card round to the Cincinnati Bengals. And now that Baltimore quarterback Lamar Jackson has secured his hefty contract, he is working hard to get back to an MVP level season, and he'll have even more help surrounding him than last year.
We know Lamar is an athletic quarterback. You know he can get loose, cause his defense a lot of problems because of his athleticism, but he also can throw the ball. And from the looks of it, they've added a lot of explosive weapons on the offensive side at the receiver position to throw the ball more. So, we would think that they're going to throw the ball, but knowing the Ravens and their style, right, they want to run the ball. They want to be a physical football team. So I think it'll be a healthy mix of both.
Houston's rookie under center C.J. Stroud was named the team captain this week, and his leadership skills will be heavily leaned on when the group kicks off the new campaign on the road. Not the start the new look UIW Cardinals wanted to open the 2023 college football season. On Saturday, Clint Killo's group went silent in the second half after going into halftime deadlocked at 14 with the UTEP Miners. The Miners won 28-14, racking up 329 rushing yards along the way. Now that the Cardinals have had time to take a closer look at the game, UIW blames a lack of execution for the defeat.
It was a lot closer game than it might have felt like, but overall we just didn't execute the way we wanted to. That's the thing. We prepared, but we didn't execute it the way we needed to. So it's a growing process. New team. That was the first time playing as a team, but excuses are out the window. We just got to play better.
UIW travels to northern Colorado for a 3 p.m. kickoff on Saturday. Stopping the run will be key for the Cardinals. We'll be right back.
We've been waiting to get some new information about a police-involved shooting. Daniela Ibarra is live at the scene, gathering more information for us. Daniela.
Ursula, we haven't learned much more since we first talked to you at the top of the 5. We are still waiting for San Antonio Police Chief William McManus to give us that update. We do know the suspect is at large. We were actually asked to move about a 5-minute walk from where the core of the scene is because that suspect is still at large. What we do know right now, though, is that it is an officer-involved shooting. We're not sure how that officer is involved. I have been speaking with the neighbor who is really at the core of the scene. She's in her house, and she says she hasn't heard much from police. So we are waiting to hear from Police Chief William McManus, and hopefully we get that information for you. That way we can report it for you at 6. But again, we'll have more coming up at 6.